United Football Academy presents Peak Parental Performance. This presentation is geared towards our recreational coaches in the United Football Academy recreational program. Thank you, Coach. We appreciate the time, and we know it takes a lot to step forward and take on the responsibilities of coaching a team. Our recreational programs are only possible with the volunteer coaches that do step forward. We hope this presentation will help to get you going in the right direction as you journey through this season and hopefully many more to come. Please don't hesitate to reach out if there's anything we can do to help you. Communication is very important. You'll receive a roster with contact information for all of your players. Please communicate with their parents. Introduce yourself as the coach. If you could provide them with some contact information and the best way, the most preferred way for them to contact you. Cell phone call, text, or possibly email. Please provide the practice location and the time for training to make sure they are at the location they signed up for. Let them know that you're going to schedule a parent meeting, preferably before or after that first training session. As you prepare for your first training session, you will notice in the coach's handbook that we provide many resources to come up with training activities that are age appropriate. It's very important to understand your players' characteristics, including what they can and cannot physically or mentally do. At United Football Academy, we provide trainers for the first 30 minutes of your training session, once a week. For U5 to U8 players, you train once a week, so that really only leaves you 30 minutes that you have to plan for. U10 and up, you get 2 training sessions, so half of one of those is covered, and you'll need to finish that session and come up with training for the other training session, and that's the same for the U12s and up. Prepare some activities and write them down so that you have a good starting point when you arrive at the field. In order to make this experience enjoyable for you as the coach and the players, being prepared will alleviate the stress of trying to wing it once you show up at the field. So if you'll just take a piece of paper, note down the activities that you want to get through, show up, start getting organized, dropping cones, getting everything set up, it helps the whole session flow, and it's more enjoyable for you as a coach and, of course, for the players. So having those cones, maybe a few extra soccer balls because players are always forgetting theirs, and maybe some training vests or different colored t-shirts that you can put them on when it comes time for different activities. Preparing for the parent meeting. Set up your meeting to take place. You can do it after or you can do it before your first training session. You're going to want to communicate to the parents and let them know what your level of coaching and your playing experience, if you have any. It doesn't matter how much or how little. You're the one that has stepped up and taken on the responsibility. So it's just to clarify where you're at as a coach. Consider another parent to be a team manager. They can organize your halftime, end of the game, healthy snacks, as well as any communication from you as the coach or from the club. And they can also help organize end of the season parties and things of that nature. Let your parents know that you may need help at times, and they need to know that they're expected to help. Confirm the training schedule, so let the parents know in the first games and the last games, the location of your training. Obviously, you are there for your meeting, and also just confirm your field location and the times. Make sure that your parents sign up for the text message updates regarding field closures. Otherwise, they'll constantly be calling you to find out while you're also in the process of trying to find out. That information is available at unitedfa.org under the Fields tab. More information on the parent meeting. Ask parents if there are any medical issues. So you're looking for players that may have asthma, allergies to insects, and any other issues that you need to be aware of. Make sure that the parents help the players by preparing them with a ball, shin guards, proper footwear, and water for training sessions and for games. Ask parents to arrive early for games so you can get the team warmed up. Probably 20 to 30 minutes before game time is a good amount so you can get them moving around, maybe dribbling and passing a little bit before the game starts. Clarify with the parents that we do not want them coaching from the sideline. This is a club philosophy that the coaches coach and the parents enjoy watching their players play. As the coach, you'll set expectations for your players and you'll communicate those to the players, and that's the information that they need to hear. It's not a bad idea to share that with the parents so they know what it is you're focusing on either that game or that week or that month. Ask the parents also to please don't complain yell at or talk to the referees, the game officials. They're learning as well, and the more parents get on them, the more of a challenge we have in coming up with referees and retaining referees because they're young players. Obviously, if you have adults yelling at young players, that's intimidating, and it's not a comfortable situation for those players. So please remind your parents, no talking to the referees, no complaining to the referees. As you prepare for games, the first game's always an adventure. And to be honest, it'll probably be chaotic. And you're going to ask yourself, what have I gotten myself into? But the games do get easier, the players do improve, and the experience gets much more enjoyable over time. Not all the teams are going to be at the same level, although that is a goal that we have when we form the teams. At U10 and up, there's combined age groups, so you have 2 birth years. Naturally, there's going to be a big difference between some of the players, and that goes for the U12s, the U14s, and up. So you have players that are in different grades at school, different maturity levels, different physical development. As a coach, focus on an individual player improvement and then look at team performance. So see how the players are doing individually, good first touch, confidence dribbling, okay passing, and then build into the team performance. Use the games to identify what areas that you want to focus on for the following week's training. Could be trapping the ball and settling the ball, could be dribbling or passing, could be defending or finishing. Just keep in mind that you can't fix them all at once, so you're going to have to pick one topic per training session and try to stay with that. Getting settled into a rhythm, prepare your training sessions and know what you want to focus on. Improving each player's ability is the primary focus. Keep players busy at training. No long lines with kids standing around. Don't take long explaining the activity because they tune us out pretty quick. And come up with a go-to activity that you can jump into if things aren't working out with your other plans. The go-to activity can be a simple tag game. If you're into an activity and it's not working, you can try adjusting the size of the area that you're working in. You can make it a little bit bigger, make it a little bit smaller. If the activity still isn't flowing and you're not getting out of it what you'd hoped, then maybe jump into that go-to activity to get the kids refocused. Then you can take a break and come back and try it again. If players are goofing off and they're not focused, it might be that the activity we're trying to get to them is not engaging enough. And it could be too easy or too hard, but something's going wrong. You want players to be surprised when training is over and you hear, "Are we done already?" Then you know your session was a pretty good one. U5 and U6 play the 3v3 format. So teach triangles. All these players are going to want the ball, especially the younger ages. So they're not going to just spread out and wait for somebody to pass to them. They're going to be going after the ball. Do the best you can to try to spread them out a little bit, but work on triangles. Teach dribbling and 1v1 moves, as players really enjoy learning ball manipulation and scoring goals. It's me and my ball at that age. U7 and U8, they play 5v5 with the goalkeeper. Still work on those team shapes. Diagonals, so triangles and diamonds. Players can be more advanced and start passing, but are still in need of that one player and a ball training. So always spend time doing some technical work. Encourage ball hogs. Don't discourage them. They need to feel it's okay to dribble. We want and need creative players. And if we stifle the dribblers, it will extract the fun, and they'll probably find another sport to play. U10s, combined U9 and U10 birth years. So again, you got a 2-year difference, or up to almost 2-year difference between some of the players. These teams will play 7v7, stay with the same training focus that we've been talking about. We would suggest a goalkeeper, 3 defenders, 2 midfielders, and a forward. It gives you a 1-3-2-1 system, and another alternative is a 1-2-3-1. But you will need a couple of athletic defenders, and please don't have 2 players stand back on top of the box and wait for the other team to dribble down and then they just run up and kick the ball. So we want players to be engaged. We want to give them some responsibility, so talk to them about defending well but taking a good first touch away from pressure, getting their head up and making a quality pass. That's what we're looking for from players. U12 will also be a combined birth year. They play 9v9 and that's the equivalent of about one half of a full-size field. So they continue to grow into bigger size fields. You're going to have that difference in maturity, and they're in different grades, so it all makes for an interesting training session, there's no doubt. It does all even out eventually. Starting with the goalkeeper for 9v9. Play the goalkeeper, 3 defenders, 3 midfielders, 2 forwards, 1-3-3-2. There are some other variations that you can plug in, but that one's probably the easiest to teach and the most basic for the recreational players, and it's easier to progress from there into a standard 1-4-4-2. U14 and up are again the double berth year. They all play 11v11, and they're on a full-size field. There are many systems, with the 4-4-2 being the easiest and most straightforward, and you can adjust your system to fit your players' abilities. Take a coaching course. Very important. The F and the G are valuable courses, and they're sponsored by Georgia Soccer, United Football Academy, U.S. Soccer. We all provide those opportunities for coaches to learn. Players 10 and younger cannot head the ball per United States Soccer Federation guidelines. No heading in training or games. Players that are 11 years old to 13 have limited heading, and 14-year-olds and up are unrestricted. Concussions are a hot topic, and they need to be taken seriously. Increased research is showing that concussions happen a lot more than we think. When in doubt, sit the player out and have them see the family doctor to get tested. All players that have received a concussion will need the doctor's clearance before returning to play. Please review all information in the coach's handbook on concussions. Training sessions, again, focus on meeting the ability of the level of players. And there's a challenge when you have new players and returning players. So an assistant coach can come in very handy here, where you may need to take some of the newer players and get them caught up as the more experienced players work on a little something more advanced. You don't want to completely separate them for an entire training session, but at times you may want to just kind of separate them, or have the assistant coach focus on a particular technique that's a little bit easier than what you're having some of the other ones work on. Please read through the coaching manual to familiarize yourself with all of the guidelines and rules that you'll be playing under at United Football Academy and through Georgia Soccer. Thanks again, Coach. We appreciate all that you do, and we want to help in any way possible. For questions, please reach out to one of the following contacts. You have Jeff Solis, your Recreational Director, Iggy Maleka, your Director of Soccer. My name is Don Schultz. I'm the Branch Manager of the Forsyth location. For coaching course information and to register, go to georgiasoccer.org and go to the Coaches tab, search the dates you're interested in and the appropriate level of license, and get yourself signed up. We really appreciate you taking time to watch this presentation. We hope it was helpful. Send us feedback if you like. United Football Academy, Incoming, Georgia. Thank you.